Welcome back to the Kosi Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal have the chance to sign Kolo Muani in January. We have been offered the opportunity alongside Manchester United, who have also been offered the player as well. And of course, a couple of other clubs are also monitoring Kolo Muani. But at the moment, as Arsenal need a striker and a forward to reinforce that attack, Kolo Muani has been offered by PSG. We'll be talking about Marcus Rashford's card price. According to Code Offside, Marcus Rashford will not be costing the 60s of millions, the 70s of millions. It could be around 40 million pounds, with Arsenal being one of the clubs reportedly very much interested in that position. And we will talk about Evan Ferguson. He is available. My boy is available. Evan Ferguson, I love the guy. I love the player. He's been phased out of Brighton, and I really love that. I don't think it's going to cost 100 million, 200 million anymore. Probably you might even get him for 30, 35 million. That is another very interesting position. I mean, Arsenal have not shown a lot of interest in Evan Ferguson, but I'll talk about him because if you're looking for a striker in January, Evan Ferguson is a place to look into. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. I want your thoughts on Kolo Muani. I already know your opinions on Marcus Rashford, but I want your thoughts on Kolo Muani and Rashford as well. But Muani is the one that I am really interested into. But let's start off with that Muani story. As reported by the Times, Kolo Muani is a player that has been offered to a couple of clubs in the Premier League, including Arsenal. Now, according to The Athletic, they understand that Muani is a player that will be available for Premier League clubs to sign, especially clubs that are looking to reinforce their attacking options. And also, they are saying that with a team like Arsenal, who have had interest in Kolo Muani before, a transfer is not, it cannot be ruled out of the question. Now, The Athletic, I like The Athletic very much. They are saying that Arsenal have been interested in Muani before, right? They will continue to monitor his position in January. And PSG is saying, hey Arsenal, hey Manchester United, here is Kolo Muani, you can sign him. I think Muani has been available since the summer, right? He's been available since the summer. Because I remember PSG wanting to sign Osimhen, but the prerequisite for that was that they had to sell Kolo Muani, Randall Kolo Muani, and I think Goncalo Ramos. I think they had to sell both of them in order for them to bring in Osimhen. That didn't happen. Eventually, Osimhen went on to go to Galatasaray. So, Kolo Muani, should Arsenal look into that position? Yes, 100% yes. Look into that position and look into that position very carefully. So, January is quite funny. You have Matheus Cunha, who we'll talk about in the next video. Matheus Cunha's price tag has been set, but that doesn't mean that Wolves will sell, right? You have Kudus, his price has also been set, but that doesn't mean West Ham will sell. You have Isak, whose price has been set up there, we'll talk about it, but that's no guarantee that Newcastle will sell. January is largely a reactive market, and I want to quote The Athletic, who are saying that January is a largely reactive market. Arsenal could go for Kolo Muani if the chance arises, and I think the chance has already come, right? The chance has already come. I don't think Arsenal need to be reactive more than we need to be now. Like, we have so many injuries. There's no guarantee that our injuries are ending with Saka and Ben White and Sterling. We will be there and Trossard will be injured. We'll be there and Martinelli is injured. So getting a forward player as an option in January, that is like a good position. That would be a very good position, and I support it 110%. So why would we go for Muani, and why would Muani want to come to Arsenal? What does he bring? Let's start off with why Muani would come to Arsenal, because that's easy. He's not getting game time at PSG, and I don't think he would be getting like this too much game time at Arsenal, because I don't think Muani is this super striker. In fact, Arsenal should make sure we bring Muani in just on loan. Initially on loan, look at him for 6 months, January to June. If he does well, then you can splash the cash on the guy. I don't have a problem. But for me, it's not the kind of striker that strikes me as, superb. No. But I like him right now because he's a forward who can do a job for us in January at the moment. What does he bring to us, and why should we go for him? On top of the fact that we need a number 9, I think we need to unlock Odegaard. And to unlock Odegaard, listen, we all thought Kevin De Bruyne was good and creative and all that until Erling Haaland came. And then we understood that the guy was insanely beautiful at creating chances. Like, Erling Haaland unlocked levels of Kevin De Bruyne that we never thought he would, that we never thought he had. So I think we need to unlock Odegaard, and a player like Kolo Muani, a player like Alexander Isak, a player like Victor Gyökeres, such a player, Osimhen, such a player could actually unlock the creativity out of Martin Odegaard. Let me know if you think the same way. Now, Marcus Rashford will be available on a cut price in January. We know that Manchester United are desperate to sell him. And the reason as why they're desperate to sell, they want to raise money to sign Victor Gyökeres. Now, for me, Victor Gyökeres is not going to end up at Arsenal for one or two reasons. One, Arsenal just don't want him. Two, I think Isak is going to be Arsenal's next striker. If it's not Isak, it's going to be Šeško. So I think I've told you before that Arsenal should stay away from Marcus Rashford, 100%. But I want to revisit that thought right now on this video. If Arsenal need a forward and Rashford can be got for 35 million, should we look into that position? Should we? We should. We should. Honestly, we should. Not because Rashford is going to come in and, bang in goals. But I want you to look at this. When Dejan Kulusevski signed for Spurs, it was January 2021, I remember. 2021, I think. And, signed with Rodrigo Bentancur as well. Yeah. Arsenal were interested in both of them at Juve. We were interested in both of them. And look at what Dejan Kulusevski has gone on to become. So for me, Marcus Rashford could come in as a quick fix, right? I don't know if Arsenal could propose a loan deal for Marcus Rashford. Huge wages. Those are big wages. So we could cover 60% of his wages, bring him in on loan, because the club has already shown they are moving past him. They are moving on, past him. So could we get Marcus Rashford, and maybe could he do a job for us from January to June? I don't know. It's a win-win situation. He comes into a team that is desperately need of forwards. He can prove himself, but he can also get game time to advertise his services for clubs that could actually sign him in the summer. Lastly, I want us to talk about Evan Ferguson. So Evan Ferguson, you all know how much I love Evan Ferguson, like this Brighton number 9. We've not seen him this season because of Ruta. They signed Ruta, and now they have João Pedro, who's on fire. If you're Evan Ferguson, you've got to find where you play football. Of course, there is also Danny Welbeck in that team, who is loved. Welbeck is just loved by any Brighton manager who comes in. So if you're Evan Ferguson, you've got to think about your options. And one of the options is a loan deal in January. Now, the good thing is that he has been made available on loan in January. For me, it's a no-brainer that Arsenal should look there. Actually, if you ask me, among the strikers that have been made available already, Evan Ferguson should be coming at number 1, number 2, Kolo Muani, number 3, Marcus Rashford. Because Evan Ferguson is a young guy that you can groom into what you want. And if you have a manager like Mikel Arteta, who can work with him and just complete that forward line of young guys. Saka, Ferguson, Martinelli. So Ferguson is available. I'm not going to speak much about him because it's already subjective. I love him very much. But if Arsenal look into that position, it might be the best decision we have made, for January.